Topping our news tonight, Sarasota Mayor Shelley Freeland Eddy is taking a tour of the Jordan's Crossing neighborhood. That's where some people are worried about living next to a proposed housing project for the chronically homeless. The facility could break ground this June between the neighborhood and Fruitville Road, just east of Tuttle Avenue. That's where we find ABC 7's Adam Cellini, who joins us live from Jordan's Crossing tonight with more on this project and why those living there feel the city tried to sneak it past them. Adam?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. Now I'm standing on a residential road here. You can see some of the homes to my right, and to my left, that brush over there is the edge of that proposed housing project property. Now that project was approved by the city's planning board last month, and the nearly $20 million it will take to build it is entirely funded by a mix of government grants. But the reason the city says they did not notify the people here that that facility might be partially used to house the chronically homeless is because it would have been a violation of the Federal Fair Housing Act. When Semia Lamella first heard about an affordable housing project next to her home in Jordan's Crossing, she was excited.
We're like, oh, maybe we can get like an apartment, you know, and it sounded like everyone can get it, like the community can get it.
Then neighbors told her the Arbor Village project would also be permanent housing for the chronically homeless, and excitement turned to aggravation with the city.
They didn't think of us in a way, you know, like they didn't think about the community. They're just gonna kind of like shove it, sneak it in there, you know, go around the corner like, oh, they won't notice.
Not only have they noticed, hundreds have signed a petition against the collaboration between Tampa builder Blue Sky Communities and local not-for-profit Community Assisted and Supported Living, or CASEL for short. Attorney Dan Lobeck has also filed an appeal against the City Planning Board's approval.
This is the wrong facility in the wrong place. The application indicates these will be some of the most severe mentally ill people, the current active drug abusers and alcohol abusers, being packed 328 people into these small apartments.
CASEL CEO Scott Eller refutes this, and a flyer saying the 80-unit project will house 80 people with chronic mental illness. Of the 80 rooms, Eller says 16 will be for the chronically homeless, 24 for people with a disability, and 40 will be workforce housing.
That is not at all what a shelter is. I've seen shelters where they have 100, 200, 300 people that are in there. There is no way to screen the people or vet them to see if they're using, if they have a problem or not. None of that exists here.
He says it will operate similar to CASEL's other properties across 5 neighboring counties that treat over 600 people per day.
We're not having the problems that they're asserting in this flyer.
Now, Mayor Freeland Eddy will be here tonight speaking with some of these residents about their concerns, taking a tour of the property. And then on Monday, many of these residents are expected to attend the City Commission meeting and ask for a public hearing on this project to be scheduled at a later date. And it's also worth noting that Jordan's Crossing here, the residents that live here know a little bit about needing and receiving help. This whole community was built by Habitat for Humanity just over a decade ago. And Scott Eller told us earlier today that he remembers a time where some of the neighboring residents were worried about who might move in to this community. So, you know, definitely a group that could sort of see both sides of the argument here. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Back to you in the studio.